everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer is a Lifestyle. So I have my whip basket here, and as you can see, it's empty of any whips. I'm now just using this for my scrap balls to make my Frankenstein scrap granny squares. Oh my gosh, you guys don't know how many times I did this, like 5 takes already. And it was not coming out good at all. But anyway, it being the end of the year, I like to kind of clean up and get a lot of the things that I've started, trying to get them finished off if I can, and kind of, send off packages that I have meant to do, and finish off items, organize my craft space, and just kind of like get ready for the new year. And also, I will be doing the 12 cast-ons, and that's going to take a lot of space. So I wanted to declutter and kind of finish off the year with as much done as possible, so I can begin the new year nice and with a fresh start. So let me show you what I did with my whips. I kind of went through them. I was actually really surprised because normally I don't really have a lot of whips, but this year I in the last couple months especially, I've been getting a lot of donations of people's stashes. And so there'd be a lot of scrap yarn. There'd be sometimes unfinished blankets or unfinished items that that I would just throw in the basket and said, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it for them. I'm going to try to at least finish it and donate it. So I found myself this time the basket was full, which is really kind of strange for me, because I normally try to finish off projects that I have. I don't have a lot of whips at one time, but I did go through it, and I found, because if you remember, I had my love of cotton, and I was making these washcloths, and also I actually found quite a bit of I don't want to say scraps, but small amounts of cotton yarn in there that I wanted to finish off. And so I made a couple more of my dishcloths. This is what I call my dishcloths, even though it looks like a washcloth, but for me this is my perfect size dishcloth for my kitchen. I use usually my dish towels is what I use in the kitchen only. I don't, for the counters or when I'm cleaning. So I find that they absorb really well, and this is like the perfect size that I can just wipe really nice, and I, instead of have this big stack of really bulky dish towels, I actually prefer them. Here's another one, and here's an all purple one. The glare it's evening, so it's like, and I find that I am pretty content with how many I have now. I don't really like to have, like I said, a lot of items, especially since I find that I don't want to call us preppers, but we are pretty much, we love to buy bulk, and that takes up a lot of space, especially in the kitchen or our pantry and all, that space is like really important to us, for all these other things. So I think this is perfect for us. So I did the washcloths. Then, like I said, I've had quite a few, what I imagine they were making blankets or trying to make blankets, or and they just never finished off. And I tried to continue on the pattern or the stitching or whatever color waves they were using. I would try to continue it on to finish off. I did end up not making full-size blankets, but I ended up making more of a lapgan that I'm going to be donating all these next blankets I'm going to show you to the Heritage Home for Seniors. Yeah, it's just, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. It's been a big day. Heritage Home Senior Center. There you go. And that we've donated to them before, but I don't know if you can remember, because I can tell looking at it, because I've realized that I am a very loose crocheter. There is a lot of people out there that crochet nice and tight and all. I am quite the opposite. So it's very evident when, like on this one, I don't know if you remember, but that's all that was just this little piece here. It was a small little rectangle, and it was all done in white. And I find that I am not a nice and tight like this one is. I am a very loose crocheter. So when you compare it and you kind of do the other half of this blanket, you see the difference. But I continued on in this pattern. And here's my end. Do you see the difference? I don't know if you can, but I am a pretty loose one. And then what I did is I took some beige and I continued around it in beige. So it's all white with a little bit of beige on the ends. I'm not sure if you can see the beige much. So let's do it this way on the end. So you see, you can see it a little bit. And that's one of them. Let me see if you can see the beige around here. It's just a small hint. But yeah, so this was a fun one. I actually liked this stitching that she used, and it was easy to figure out, and I enjoyed it, and it actually went by really quick. White is a color, you know, there's certain colors that you just have in your stash all the time. Black, white, you know, these are the basic colors, and I actually have like a lot of blues always for some reason. So, you know, that's something that we have all the time, or cream. So you can easily, you know, finish the blanket. So that's one. Then I had one which was just, it wasn't started or anything, but I just had like I said, I had a lot of scraps, you guys, which is wonderful. I love them. And I'm still not even done rolling them into balls. But I had I hope I can show this one because it has a lot of colors. This is a nice size lap blanket that I just took, and it was black, it's beige, it's white, it has, let me see if I can, it has cream, it has brown, I don't know if you can see, and none of them are the same brand or anything, but it was just scraps of this, a scrap of that. Let's just continue on with this. I'm going to turn that. Sorry, it seems my war on notifications is still going. It's an ongoing saga. So here it is. I know it's looking dark like black, but some of it is brown and some of it is black. And so here you go. So this is all just done with the scraps that were in here. And I started this like a long time ago. Several weeks ago I was doing this blanket. And I just laid it aside and never finished it till now. Now this next one, I tried my best to, you know, find the colors and try to make it look decent. So I hope it does. I don't know if you will remember the piece that I had were these brown squares. There were actually 6, and these are granny squares that were put together. It's not granny squares, but they're squares, and that's all I had. Or no, wait, there were yeah, 6 of them, and that's it. So I was like, I really did not have that shade of brown. So I just took some brown and cream, and I just kind of worked it all the way around. And then I try to just kind of do something different with it. So you see, I kind of added on my own, I don't know. But it works. I think it works okay. I think it came out okay. And I think it's looking good, even though it's coming out dark, like black almost, but it's actually dark brown, and I think it's going. It looks decent. I was a little afraid because, like I said, I did not have that shade of brown, but I think it came out pretty good. And like I said, it's a lap blanket, and I think it's going to be okay. Now this one is a favorite of mine because it's just a hodgepodge of all scraps. When I first saw the piece that I'm going to show you that came with the donation, I was like, I don't know if I would ever put these colors together. Like, I don't know about that. What was this person trying to make? And it was this section here. Now look at it. It's pink. It's yellow. It has some variegated green brick and some, teal. I mean, like these are not colors you would put together, right? And this was the section that I had. It was just this little rectangle actually. And I'm thinking like, wow, pink, yellow with this. It's like, so I decided, you know what? Since I had all these scraps, I was trying to match them as best as I could. So, you guys, this is what I did. And I think it came out okay. This is what I did. I added my own, I made it as hodgepodgey as possible, almost like a scrap. And look, I think it kind of came out okay. I mean, I'm kind of a little bit in love with it. I don't know. It's really crazy, I know, but I mean, I would never set out to do that. I would never set out to put these colors together, but yet somehow, I don't know what the individual was planning on making with these colors that they chose, but I continued on the best that I could, and I think it came out pretty decent. I don't know. It's certainly different for sure. So here you have it. And that's it, you guys. I ended up, I'm going to donate those, like I said, to the senior center in the Heritage Home Senior Center. There is still one whip that is going to be rolling over into the new year, and it is actually a 12 cast on from last year, and I believe it might be. And I'm really kind of a little bit disappointed in myself, and it is the Mandela blanket. And this is part 1. I think it comes into like part 3s, and I never picked it up to do part 2 and part 3. And I think what really kind of maybe why I didn't is because if you can see, I mean, it's beautiful. I cannot wait to see the finished piece. You're doing things that, look at, you're doing almost all these different little stitches and all that are quite intricate, quite lovely. It's going to be a beautiful blanket. But if you're going to do, like this is part 1, there is no way that you could sit down, do row 2, 3, and 4 and put it down. You would have to continue and do the whole part. You know what I'm saying? Because of all the detail that's in here. So I know that part 2, I'm going to need some time. So if I'm going to be doing part 2 on this, then I need to sit down and devote all the next couple of hours to it, because I know that if I put it down, I'm going to lose my place. I'm going to lose my train of thought of what's next, So I am going to, it's going to roll over. It's going to roll over. Actually, this is not the longest whip I've ever had. The longest whip I've ever had was 2.5 years that I finally finished. I think it was like a year ago. I was really, really happy. It was a blanket that I worked on, and it was like a queen size blanket. It was single crochet, or was it double crochet? I don't even remember. I think it was probably single crochet. 2.5 years. I was so sick of that blanket, you guys. I had no heart to like work on it anymore, and I'm so glad that I finished it finally. So I hope this doesn't turn into it. It's only been a year, so I'm hoping that I can pick it up, and I already know who I'm going to give this to once I am finished with it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm not, this has got nothing to do with, tooting my own horn or anything. When you're a crafter and you try to push yourself and you try to do new things, something that you've never done before, you try to push yourself in that way, and then when you are able to do something you've not done before, it's like a special, it turns into a special project that is very dear to your heart. You feel good about it, that you can do it. This Mandela blanket is going to be that for me, and this is going to be going to a very special person, and I can't say who, because he watches my my vlogs, and it's a family member. That's how I'm going to know tell you. But I was really, really happy, and I will tell you, even on the back, I was so happy with the way I was working it, because I thought there's so many colors and there's so many color changes that you're doing, that I was like, man, I am going to have so many ends to work in, and all that. I was actually working them in on the back as I was going, so I was really happy with that, because that would be a lot of work. But anyway, I didn't want to turn it into a saga today, so I just wanted to let you know, show you what I've done with those, and they're going to be going out in the mail this week. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you tomorrow.